Pillars of Eternity continues. Welcome back, everyone, to more Pillars of Eternity.
As you wish.
Yes, I know it's been a while, and that's because it's been the holidays for obvious reasons, I think. We're here back at the entrance, more or less, of the Odd New Odd levels. We're going to place this amulet in the statue. You place the amulet carefully on the palm. For a moment, nothing appears to happen. Then, as you look on, the Adra gem begins to glow faintly and then steadily, gleaming like a dragon's own golden eyes. The amulet is warm to the touch when you retrieve it, and it seems to hum with power. Alright, the violent deaths of the two Magranite priests at Evandur Bridge generated grief and outrage at Godhammer Citadel. It did not take long for Grieving Mother to discover that radical Red Sirens were responsible. Two wizards had placed the curses that killed the priest, but they were backed by dozens of Red Siren veterans from the Saints' War. As the wizards had no interest in negotiating with Grieving Mother or the Magranites, a battle erupted, much of it running over the same fields that saw combat during the war. In the end, the wizards were killed and the remaining Red Sirens were routed. The priests that had died in the initial attack were buried near the bridge, and the ceremonial gloves of the senior priests were given to Grieving Mother in thanks. So we get the Celebrant's gloves, which give plus 10 ability area effect and plus 10 to cast Holy Meditation when hit or critically hit. This might be good for our priest. They were once gloves of the senior Magranite priest who was killed performing a traditional dirge at Evandur Bridge to commemorate the destruction of St. Wedwin. After you helped root out the Red Sirens who were responsible, the remaining priest of Magran gave you his gloves. Did we get our wall built? Build that damn wall. We've got to rebuild it, and it's going to be finished in 9 hours. Now before we take off, forgot we need to go visit our Vithrak friends. I wonder if I can speed jump from here. If I go out and come back in, maybe? No, I don't think that's going to work. Alright, that did work. So yeah, I've been ultra busy with work and been doing a lot of painting for miniatures for the board game group. Eventually I'll get to show a lot of that off, but for those board gamers out there that watch the channel, I've just completed the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth board game, painted that entire thing with the little mini expansion. Been working on Deep Madness, which is an underwater Bioshock Dead Space horror game. Been working on a chibi-style Arcadia quest, if I cool mini or not. Anything we actively play, I basically paint. Try to get it done as we go. Been doing 3D printing. So eventually when I get my GoPro set back up, I'll do some light playthroughs and show off what I've been working on. And of course, you know, we have the holidays coming up here, so I'm going to be in Houston all this weekend, and I'll be in Houston all next weekend. However, I do only work 2 days next week, so I don't think I'll be recording anything till after Christmas, but yeah, not going to have a lot of time. This could very well be the last video before the new year. I don't think they're going to like that if I just steal that. You I thought we did the Master's Tool quest. Oh, there it is.
Of course.
Okay. Fuck do I turn this into? Pretty sure this is what the guy wanted. Examining one of the ancient machines in the ruins has yielded a strange mechanism laced through with copper. It will likely be of interest to the Vithrak. Right on. We killed the mad Vithrig down here. Almost missed all that money. Must be more than I'm missing. That's what we were missing. Let's haul ass back. It lives, and it stinks of dust and old souls. Does it have the address Jack wants? I found all the samples. I'll take them back to your leader now. Now, Lingerer. It steps forward, claws outstretched. Give us what Sharak demands. This is not for outsider, the crawling worm among giants. It hisses. Give it here. I did this for the sake of your people. Are you so selfish that you'd risk just so you can take the credit? I've had enough of your shit. Hey, they tried to steal from me. The Vithar sinks to one knee, a hissing, gurgling, and rattle in its throat. It is a vile, scheming thing. I curse its eggs, its family. May it go stumbling into the dark to die. You won't get away with this so easily. I'm taking you back to Katanua, prisoner. And then I am slaying your brethren. Nice try.
Let's burn this.
I don't need slow-mo. I need fast-mo. You stunned ass motherfuckers.
Hi?
Like a healing shame.
Poison. Hardly fair.
Super rusty. Been too long. Mr. Ronstock finally has his level. Our west curtain is reconstructed. Caster temporarily sacrifices arcane power for martial might. Not a big fan of that spell, to be honest. Transform a single kith enemy into a pig. Archimede's Wondrous Torment drains the target's resolve, intellect, and perception, creating two less powerful versions of the effect. This is good against wizards, probably. Let's take that. I think Mental Fortress is definitely going to be something we need to get everybody. Being charmed and dominated, confused and terrified and frightened especially fucks up our characters from what they're trying to accomplish. I'm going to go with that.
Amua animal. It has been below. It has what we seek. Your scouts attacked me on the way back. Is that how Vithrak thanked those who helped him?
You feel a fading echo of loss run through your mind.
Charaxes is sorry for what Kasturik does. Is protecting Nest many years from many things.
The Vithrak pauses.
Amua not being harmed. Chirac hopes. I have all the address samples.
You feel another passing itch in your skull and then a ripple of echo of joy.
Then Vithrak owe a great debt. With these we study, learn master's secrets. We make statues greater than old dead master of Hollow Place. Stravak Snarith will gleam like the sea. Vithrak, thank you. Is having coin his custom, yes? Vithrak have coins of many ages, would give many.
He thinks a moment.
If Amua animal goes still deep into places, should talk to Krivi. Krivi has supplies, will help. Sharak is giving this also, found in tunnels. It does not suit Vithrak. Keep Amua safe, yes? Will bring fortune.
We got drawn in spring.
That's all I get for helping your colony? Amua animal not satisfied? Sharak has gems. Amua animal having these, put to better use. Vithrak remember, long after sun falls into sea. This is start of something. New turn of wheel.
Sharak turns toward the nest of lining the wall.
Young will live in better place. Your leader said you had some shit to sell. Yes, Sharak is saying you help us. Greavy is collecting supplies. Add your tongue can see.
Some armor, ooh, some sapphires and diamonds and stuff. Not really interested in the other shit, but... But I'll take those. Now, how am I going to steal this book?
How may I help? I'll see what I can find.
Might just have to kill him for this book. I don't even know if it's going to be worth it for the spells. I might as well just save and see. Oh, somehow he didn't see me, or he was cool because I finished the quest. But either way, we got the book. We got the book. Citadel Spirit Lance and the other spell that I passed up. All right, not like some new spells.
Well?
Alright, now I think we can head on out of here. And Drawn in Spring, it's a unique dagger. Legend of Living Land speaks of a marvelous and dangerous garden watched over by 4 guardians: Northern Wind, Southern Gale, Western Sun, and Eastern Moon. To protect the garden from those who would disturb its wonders and to protect hapless wanderers from the ravenous beast and carnivorous plants within, the guardians diverted travelers with their respective domains: frigid and buffeting winds, glaring daylight, and the darkness of night. 3 would stand alert each season while 1 guardian rested. It is said that the Western Sun summoned Drawn in Spring each year after awakening from a winter slumber. It's a nice dagger. No doubt about that. An extra 25% damage inflicted over time. It's superb. 17 to 24 slashing. Good, maybe a good up-close poker weapon. Poker in the rear. Now I think we can leave here for the time being anyways and go see if we can find a body for our dragon. Helps when you go the right way.
I'm impressed.
I don't think I have anything else over here to do. Kusteruk was a scout for a population of Vithric inhabiting the endless passable Nuides, asked for death, but I thought it better to lock it away in the dungeon. Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna rot in my dungeon. Don't worry, we're going to be swapping out and adding the Devil of Karak very soon. Probably in the next video I'll figure out what's going on. I'd like to get some of these NPCs quest finished, but that pushes the game a lot further when you go to the Twin Elms and start doing that region. But perhaps we can leave Aloth or our paladin behind for a little bit. Now, in sticking with the theme of being evil here, we have decided to let the dragon live instead of killing her, which obviously is a nice challenge and all. And you get the odd to dragon scale. However, that would be kind of going against what we're trying to achieve here LP-wise.
As you wish.
And of course, we've already been here to the Black Meadow, but the fog is back. Which means all the forest trolls are back too.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
A woman in gleaming mail stands guard before the shrine, her head bowed in thought or prayer. The clasp of her cloak bears the engraving of a dog's head. The amulet rises in your pack, seeming almost to be alive. You feel a pressing compulsion to do as the dragon asked, and place it about the woman's neck.
Greetings, stranger. Don't see too many travelers out this way lately. Shame, really. Who are you? Felon Roed, with a scorched blade, perhaps the only scorched blade left these days. Hard to know for sure. Lately I spend more time tending the shrine than hunting drakes. I've been looking for you. Oh, I didn't think I was much remembered by anyone. How is it that you know me? I brought you a gift for helping my family with the drakes some years back. She turns the outer gem over in her hands. This is quite the gift. I fear I don't remember the occasion, but I'm glad I could have been of some service. She raises the amulet, lowering it over her head. I hope your family is well, and... She pauses, frowning as something seems to distract her. Her expression shifts, brows furrowing as she listens. There's a flare of light from the amulet which pulses like a star. Felonrod's face darkens, mouth pressed into a thin line as she concentrates. Idiot! You think to buy an alliance with the monster? I'll not be the coin you do so with. I'll end you here, sycophant, and your dragon as well. She readies her poleaxe and leaps towards you with a shout. Lug gonna fuck you up, lady!
Hulu, send
That's not very helpful.
Not even slowing it down!
Your next blow sends the Dragon Slayer to her knees. She looks up at you with undisguised loathing, gritting bloody teeth. You don't know what you're doing. Think what she will do with this freedom. I have thought about it, and she's gonna do some really evil shit. The amulet heaves and twists, and a thick miasma seems to pour from the heavy gem, unseen by all but you. It moves towards Felonrod's eyes and face, and you hear her shout of anger as she recognizes too late the renewed incursion. No! She tries to rise, only to crumple once more to the ground. You will regret... What else she meant to say is swallowed up by her strangled cry. Her limbs jerk, fingers spasming. You have the impression of a weak, frail light rising from her body, only to be scattered by a sudden pulsing glow. You are struck with a fleeting sensation of despair, and then a stronger, heady triumph. For a moment all is still, and then Felonrod's gaze settles upon you once again. Her eyes gleam, a familiar, fiery gold. She looks down at herself with cursory interest, and then rises smoothly to her feet. I wasn't sure about this at first, but I've got to admit now that I have a dragon friend, it's harder to feel bad about it.
How's it feel?
She makes a strangled noise, a growling cough, and then frowning, tries again.
It is. Ah, Watcher, you know not the difference. I have felt all these things before, but as through a fog. What small lungs this body has. How quick the beat of its heart. She turns toward you. You have freed me. It's no small thing to have a dragon in your dead. I'm hunting a man called Theos. Can you help me? Yes, I know him. So you are what chases him across the Deerwood. He waits for you in the place called Sun and Shadow. You must be the hound to his heart, or else you will find yourself walking Merwald's path. I have gathered to myself 1,000 tales in those many years beneath the earth, but I will remember yours most dearly. You will be more than a match for this Theos. It should be quite the spectacle. I'm almost sorry to miss it. 2,000 years, and now I am free. I know not where I'll go first. The Valian Republics, perhaps, or the plains of Red Sirius. I should like to run, I think. Farewell, Watcher. Wait!
You might find this interesting.
She did have some magical armor, but I checked it out. It was not all that. Alright, knocking out a couple quests here. Need to go back down into the dragon lair and get our treasure, I believe, now that she's gone. Then I think we can start. So all of our NPC quest. The Trials of Durance. Got some bounties to do. We haven't unlocked Northfield yet. I believe it's over here somewhere, so we won't be able to do that bounty quite yet, even though there's another set after it. Dunred Scion has arrived seeking employment. He was nearly set upon by brigands on the road, but your patrols intervened. Oh, well, fuck that. We're going to go ahead and return to the bottom level where the dragon was, so I'll see y'all down there. Alright. Let's rob this bitch. She's out walking the earth. She doesn't care. We gotta get something out of our evil. Whoa, pissed off kobolds. Zorib, aka kobolds. Nighty night, bitches. There we go, some nice little gemmy gems. Hello. Little Savior. Little Savior was the nickname given to an Orlin warrior from the Guided Compass tribe who defended Glenfathens and settlers alike during the Broken Stone War. He argued for peace to anyone who would listen. Few did, and so he reluctantly threw himself into countless battles, stalling aggressors who would, while defensively, fled. Superb +12 shield, friendly aura, +5 on all defenses. +50 defense while stunned, 50% while prone, and 8 deflection. That's a pretty badass shield. And some money, money, money. Minolette's grimoire. Vingiata Rugia. Retaliation, sneak attack. This looks like some thief armor. -20 recovery speed, +10 damage to flank targets, superb damage reduction, retaliation. The superbly crafted set of armor is dyed a dark maroon. The dye is uneven and splotchy, making it look like it was colored by an amateur. In a way, it was Vingiata Rugia, meaning Red Vengeance, was worn by a young Valian woman who witnessed the murder of her family and at the hands of mercenaries serving a powerful duchess. When the authorities questioned her, she pretended that the trauma had erased any memory of the incident. Yet, while she feigned shock-induced oblivion, she trained in secret. Since she couldn't wear armor or weapons without attracting attention, she took up work as a seamstress to learn how to sew a sturdy garment that would protect her without garnering too much notice. She also refitted a stiletto with the handle of an awl, allowing her to carry it without raising suspicion. By the time she began hunting her family's killers, she was quick with her stiletto and inconspicuous in her padded armor. She assassinated them one by one, each time soaking a piece of her garment in the blood of her latest victim. Well, you would think that the recovery speed would be better. Like -0 or -5%. I don't know that we have much use for that. That's right, I have you on two-handed swords. Little Savior might be better than this. 16 deflection. Fucks up his accuracy, though. Hits are converted to grazes, which is kind of nice. +12 shield deflection. 8 deflection. Plus it gives a friendly aura, which is kind of nice. This shield ain't doing shit. That shield looks like crap. It's not nearly as pretty as this one. It's all about being pretty, folks. Stats don't matter. Ooh, Windagar. Wind Spear was once an heirloom to a powerful house that served the first Furkonegs, the Mekwins of Adir. When the Adirian Empire formed, Wingar was carried at the head of the unified army and used to strike down the leaders of opposing forces from great distance. One of its earliest effective crossbows' accuracy shattered the resolve of many would-be resistors. That'll probably replace any crossbow we're currently using. And Petinti med the Principi. This fucking dragon went and ravaged Italy or something. Unique scepter, two-handed. Potente med Principi, power of princes, was recovered by a Valian adventurer pillaging Egwithan ruins. When he and his party found themselves beset by a clan of Zoribs, he put his newfound weapon to work, bringing them to their knees with the scepter's powerful attacks. As they fought, his friend noticed and exclaimed, "That has the power of princes. They kneel before you." Okay, we can compare that to our other scepters. Of course, we're using a lot of soulbound stuff, which is more powerful, I would assume. You bury your arm to the shoulder and you haven't reached the bottom of the pile.
Eyes open.
So, can we pick all this gold up or what?
Nice and quiet.
Alright, I think we're done here on the Endless Paths. Bravo! Whoa, that's a nice crossbow for Sherzies. Well, if you ever go range, if we open up another set for Edgar here, we can go full range on everyone in case we ever need to. You know, sometimes they distance you too far, and you gotta whip out the crossbows. We have some pretty nice projectile weapons for sure. I guess for now I could equip that on Lug or somebody and...
Yes.
put it to some use. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here.
Formidable fortress in the old style. We don't build them like this anymore, you know. Not by the sea. too vulnerable to cannons.
Okay, we need to head back to the White March, actually. And go to Gref's. Your party's considered high level. Oh, that's not good. Leave it in 8 days. An Adirian dignitary has arrived at the stronghold. He requests your aid with an upcoming meeting with the representatives of Fisher Crane tribe near Thane Bog. Well, we might not be able to finish that quest.
The enemy grows stronger.
And you'd send more of us to die.
Well, I'm not gonna stand around. Are you?
You've done plenty, Darian.
You approach this source of commotion and see a throng of villagers. They're arguing amongst themselves and hurling questions and demands at a lone figure perched above them. A young man stands on a spur of rock, his clenched fist held aloft, steam rising from his wild hair and flushed face as he shouts to you.
Been a week since our people left these gates. A week since the Iron Flail took them.
He paces the outcropping, his eyes burning. You see a few scattered nods in the crowd.
Yet we wait here behind our sturdy new walls, hiding in our rebuilt homes. We've done nothing.
He brings his fist into his palm with a sharp smack. The crowd erupts, bristling with pointed fingers and pointed words. One woman steps forward, her eyes lock on the young man.
Who are you to tell us how to defend our own? You ain't been here 2 months!
Yeah, motherfucker! Several of the others grunt and hoot. You feel a shift in the crowd like a changing tide.
Hey, an angry mob. See? We're not so far from home.
And since I got here, I've been working alongside the rest of you. Don't start with that again.
A handful of others nod along with him, but they cringe and flinch as another villager joins the fray, shaking his finger at the young orator.
Well, it was your idea to send our people to that damned fort in the first place. If it weren't for you and the other leeches that come up with you, we wouldn't be in this mess.
The new accuser raises a chorus of furious cries. Darren raises his hands for calm, but the crowd's wrath is snowballing.
Enough. Enough!
Darren waves for calm, but the crowd has worked itself into a frenzy. He scans the assembly, beads of sweat rolling from his temples. His eyes fall on you and he points.
You want to boot all the Outlanders from your town? Tell that to the hero of the White Forge.
Hey, it wasn't just me. This Watcher deserves at least a little credit.
No one seems to notice at her. A dozen heads turn in your direction. The village recognize you, and their eyes widen with hope and reverence.
You said something about a fort and an iron flail.
It's a small army from Raed Saris. They call themselves the Iron Flail.
At Darren's mention of the name, the rest of the crowd falls silent. The words trigger a sudden flashback to your dream of the mysterious army and the destruction of Cadnua. As the image fades, you see once more the visions of 100 eyes watching you as something just beyond.
Showed up a few weeks after you opened the battery. Demanded we give him the White Forge.
He avoids your gaze, scraping his boot against the rock.
They're led by a Darek Sendamir. Comes from an old Raed Saren family. The rumor has it the man's half mad with visions. Claims one drove him here to take the White Forge.
They're not the only bloodsuckers around here.
The villager glares up at Darren, but most of his fellows are ignoring him by now. Darren raises his voice above the ruckus.
Our crew at the battery locked their doors and told the Iron Flail to go back to Raed Saris. Instead, they built a fort in the middle of the wood, so we sent a committee to reason with them. But that was a week ago, and we haven't seen our people since.
A low rumble ripples through the crowd. Darren hesitates.
That can only mean one thing.
He's right. You gotta defend what's yours.
We're just miners and fisher folk.
Panic surges for the crowd.
Send Darian and the rest of the newcomers. Let them earn their keep.
We've cleared your roads and repaired this town. What more do we have to prove?
Cries of agreement and protest boil up from the crowd.
Please, everyone!
In the fragile silence that follows, the others turn and look at Darian.
Whatever our difference is, we've got to deal with the army at our gates.
He looks back at you.
You've done a lot for Stalwart already. Many of us wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you.
He breaks off, looking as if he'd like to stuff his words back into his mouth. After an uneasy pause, he swallows and continues.
What I mean is, if anyone could deal with an army, it's you.
I've got my own business with this army.
The Iron Flail cleared a patch of forest north of Durgan's battery, built their fort there. It'll be well guarded, so if you can get in without raising an alarm, you may have an easier time of it. The important thing is to deal with the commander. If you can get rid of him, the rest of the soldiers will scatter.
Think I dreamed about this army.
What exactly did you see?
He watches you with wide, wondering eyes. A murmur ripples through the crowd.
Stalwart was destroyed.
The villagers gasp and exchange panic whispers.
Then let's just hope there's still time to prevent it.
His voice is firm, but his face is ashen.
Anyway, we've got our work cut out for us here.
He gives the crowd a purposeful look, grumbling, and they start to disperse.
While you're out, stop by the battery. Wangra and her team are still repairing the heavy cannons. They've made a lot of progress elsewhere. Thought you might like to see how far it's come.
Well, let's see if we can still turn in this quest. If not, Mr. Satan's going to punch me in the dick. I'm not sure how that started, actually. I thought I was preventing this from happening by not resting, but I don't know. I probably fucked it up. You know how I do. Still has the quest here.
As you wish.
You look like you've been in the wilds.
Thank
See
goodness.
my wagon up there?
Found your goods.
You've saved my hide. I can't thank you enough, but I hope you'll take this.
Fair enough. I'll take my reward then. How about some ass?
Here, as promised. Thanks again. With a little luck, I'll trade these blizzards in for a sea breeze soon enough.
All right. Another questicle completed. And here we are on the White March Part 2 expansion with all kinds of new shit to do. We need to talk to a lot of people, although we are running out of time, so I'm just gonna run around town a little bit and look around. And then in the next video, we will one by one ensure that we pick up all the new questicles here. Tildor. Afraid I don't have any more bounties. We like bounties. If it isn't the hero of the White Forge. Renengild nods in greetings. She looks more relaxed than you've ever seen her. You've come back to check your handiwork, or are you just here to wish me a happy retirement?
Why'd you retire?
She stretches. I've had enough of politics and town quarrels for a lifetime, so when Tarfos told me he was tired of the mines, I asked if he was ready to really get his hands dirty. Almost feel sorry for the guy.
Yes.
Okay, well, she didn't have much to say.
Of course.
These teeth have been sanded smooth in preparation for carving. I wish folk here would give Darien a chance. That guy's cold.
The Iron Flail has folk up in arms about foreigners. Haven't been here long, but I'll tell you what I can.
Tell me about the Iron Flail.
They heard about the White Forge and came running. Just like a lot of us did. Only difference is, they brought siege weapons.
Oh shit.
As best anyone can tell, they're from the border region near Little Bend, one of the poorest parts of the country. For Raid Saris, well, that's saying something.
What brought you to Stalwart?
Work. I was a cobbler in New Yarma, but the city got more crowded every year. Rural types fleeing the legacy. A couple months ago, I heard Stalwart was offering land and opportunity to new settlers, so figured I'd give it a go out here. For a while, folks seemed glad to have some new blood. But that changed as more and more of us came.
Seems to be a lot of tension from around town now.
Before you opened Durgan's battery, people tell me Stalwart barely had enough warm bodies to keep the town running. A bunch of us came when we heard about the White Forge, but now, I think the old-timers would just as soon send us back.
He begins ticking items off of on his fingers.
We take the best jobs, we don't pay our respects to Andra, we're overcrowding the town.
He shakes his head.
I get it. Stalwart's changing. Same thing happened in New Yarma when folk moved in from the countryside. But they can't keep blaming us for everything that goes wrong out here.
He sighs and a steaming cloud escapes his lips.
I'm just hoping they'll calm down once the Iron Flail is gone.
Durin, have you got any new shit for sale? Looks like you still have all the shit I sold you. Pleasure to see you. Let's check the temple. What's going on here now?
Oh,
Ingram.
come on! Stupid sword!
He nods at you and smiles in recognition. Ah, the kindler of the White Forge. We owe you a great debt for the industry and faith you restored here. Welcome to the Temple of Abaddon.
This used to be the temple to Andra.
He tilts his head to one side. Back when this was a dying, forgotten place. But the clerics who tended it left as customary of their goddess. The throngs who have since come to Stalwart sought a more practical deity.
What do you do here?
I lead this temple and guide the acolytes in matters both spiritual and mundane. He indicates the forge and anvils. Worshippers of other gods pray or meditate. We Abaddonians venerate our god through the act of smithing. Our doors are always open and our forge always alight. How may I help you? Well, you're not going to sell me shit, so... Okay, now you're just pissing me off. She slams her forge hammer down on the unfinished blade with a loud clang. Straighten out, damn you! Temper, Maska. The elder priest glares at Maska reproachfully. Sorry, master, it just slipped out. She takes a deep breath and releases it slowly.
What's wrong with your shitty sword?
Where to begin? She gestures at the rapidly cooling lump of iron on her anvil. For one, I can't manage to shape the metal no matter how hard I try. Master Ingram says, envision a sword. So I'm envisioning really, really hard. I think I'm ending up with a club, maybe a mace if I'm lucky, but no sword. If my work doesn't improve soon, they'll kick me out of the temple. You can't be a priest if you're not a proper smith. Unless you help me, Maska glances around.
Go on.
I snuck a peek at Master Ingram's law books. They came across a ritual that can enchant a forge hammer to boost smithing skill, exactly the kind of edge I need. I've already completed the first part of the ritual, crafting the hammer. Unfortunately, the next two parts require travel to Deerwood, and there's no way Master Ingram will let me leave anytime soon.
I'll complete the forge hammer ritual for you.
That's great. She hands you a forge hammer. The hammer actually turned out all right. The first place you'll need to go is the Shrine of Abaddon in Crucible Keep. That's in the First Fires District in Defiance Bay. I've never been there myself. Just place the hammer at the shrine and it should get blessed or something. After that, you'll need to find the Shrine of Magrin in Magrin's Fork. It's not far from Defiance Bay, to the north of the city, I think. Do the same thing with the hammer at that shrine, then head back here. It better get back before Master Ingram gets annoyed with me.
Why'd you decide to become an acolyte of Abaddon? You seem to suck at it.
It's family tradition, but I managed to keep going. She glares at the unfinished sword of her anvil. Barely.
Isn't crafting using a magical forge hammer unethical?
I'm not trying to show up anyone. I just want to appear competent, you know? Buy myself some time until I'm actually competent. All right. Let the onslaught of new questicles begin here and onward into the next video. See you soon, folks. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays if you celebrate that kind of shit. If I don't see you before the new year, happy fucking new year. And get ready, because 2020 is going to be the bomb. I did speak in the World of Warcraft video that I'm actually still trying to upload. That the going to be some early RPGs from Days of Yore that are going to be starting after Pillars of Eternity. Due to a couple of Patreons that I owed LPs to, you will be seeing Betrayal of Krondor from Sierra, and you will also see Light Crusader, an old Genesis action RPG. And that is thanks to Cat Blaster and Talon Claw, I don't fucking know, something like that. But those two are on the horizon, as well as Dungeons & Dragons Warrior of the Eternal Sun. I've already completed and uploaded a preview video of that on my Patreon channel. I promised that I would get that started in 2019, apparently, and Cat Blaster called me out on it, so, hey, technically I started it. So those are going to be the three next RPGs you're going to see slowly start churning up here in early 2020. Once again, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you have a great end of the year, and I'll see you soon.